It's something we use every single second, but we barely ever think about it. It's the invisible engine that powers our entire digital world. So today we're going to pull back the curtain on the single most important piece of software on your computer, the operating system.
Think about it. You hit that power button every single day and bam, everything just works. But what's really going on in those first few seconds? It feels instant, but it's actually this incredibly complex, carefully choreographed dance. So what's the very first spark of life inside your machine? So before you even see your familiar desktop or login screen, a whole critical sequence has to unfold perfectly. This is literally the spark of life for your machine, and it all starts the moment you press that power button. Well, that spark is something called the bootstrap program. The best way to think of it is like the computer's own personal alarm clock. It's this tiny, unchangeable program living on a chip, and its one and only job is to kick off the chain reaction that brings your entire system to life.
So this whole bootstrapping thing, it's like a lightning-fast chain reaction. First up is the power-on self-test, or post, where all the hardware quickly does a systems check. Is everything plugged in and working? Once that gets a thumbs up, the bootloader kicks in. Think of it like a treasure map that knows exactly where to find the heart of your operating system. It finds it, loads the OS kernel, that's the absolute core, into the computer's main memory, and then the kernel takes the driver's seat and fires up the rest of the system.
All right, so the OS is awake, it's in control, but what does it actually do? Well, its most fundamental job is to be the ultimate diplomat, a great translator that bridges a massive, massive communication gap. And here is the fundamental problem we're dealing with. We think in words, in ideas, in pictures. The computer's hardware? It only understands one thing: ones and zeros. Without a translator in the middle, something as simple as opening a document would be an impossibly complicated task for us. And that's where the operating system comes in. It's the master intermediary. It takes our simple, human-friendly requests and translates them into the precise, complex machine language that the hardware needs to get the job done. It really does make the impossible possible. Yeah, this quote really nails it. The OS is the foundation. It's like, imagine trying to build a house without pouring a concrete slab first. It would just be chaos. That's exactly what using a computer without an OS would be like. Every single app you use, from your browser to your games, depends on the OS to handle all that nitty-gritty hardware communication.
Okay, so if the OS is our translator, how do we, talk to it? How do we give it our commands? Well, we do that through what's called a user interface. It's our digital cockpit. For most of us, there are two main ways we talk to our OS. On the left, you've got the graphical user interface, or GUI. That's the visual world of icons, windows, and menus we all know and love. It's super intuitive. But on the right is the command line interface, the CUI. It's all text-based and, yeah, it requires you to memorize commands, but it is incredibly powerful and fast, which is why it's still the go-to tool for tons of developers and IT pros. Okay, now for one of the coolest tricks a modern OS pulls off. It makes it seem like your computer is a master juggler, handling dozens of things all at once. But this isn't magic. It's a core concept called multitasking. I mean, just think about what you do on your computer. You're probably listening to music, typing a document, downloading a file, and getting email notifications all at the same time. How on earth can a computer with just one central brain, the processor, do all of this simultaneously? Well, the answer is actually a really, really clever illusion. The secret is just pure, mind-boggling speed. The OS tells the CPU to focus on one thing, like processing the words you're typing. And then, in a blink of an eye, it switches to another task, like playing the next tiny piece of your music file. And then it switches again to check and see if that new email has arrived. It makes these switches so incredibly fast, we're talking fractions of a second, like maybe a 10,000th of a second, that it creates this perfect illusion that everything is happening all at once. Our brains literally can't perceive the gaps. It's amazing. Now, that rapid switching is already mind-blowing on a single processor, right? But modern computers, they take it to a whole other level. Think of that single processor like one chef frantically trying to cook 5 different meals at once. A multiprocessor system is like having several chefs in the kitchen, each one working on their own dish in parallel. It just makes everything dramatically faster and more reliable. But beyond all the flashy stuff we actually see, the OS is constantly working in the background. It's performing all these essential, unsung hero services that keep our digital lives running smoothly and, more importantly, safely. The OS really is the ultimate manager, playing all these critical roles behind the scenes.
It's the traffic cop, deciding which program gets to use the CPU and when. It's the meticulous librarian, managing every single file on your system. And it's the security guard, making sure programs don't interfere with each other and protecting you from threats. These are the crucial jobs that make your computer a stable, secure place to work and play.
So as you can see, the operating system is so much more than just the icons you click. It's the sophisticated, invisible brain that translates, manages, and protects everything you do on your device. And that really leaves us with a fascinating question. As our devices get smarter, more powerful, and more connected, what will the OS of tomorrow even look like?